This video is for educational purposes only and does not constitute professional medical advice. Please consult with your doctor or a qualified healthcare specialist before starting any new vitamins or supplements mentioned in this video. Use of this information is at your own risk. Stop! If you're over 60, that 2 a.m. leg cramp isn't just pain, it's a bone-shattering trap. One wrong reflex tonight could send you crashing to the floor with a broken hip or a shattered leg. Your muscles are screaming for help, and if you don't listen now, this might be the last night you ever walk without fear. Here is the hidden disaster waiting in your bed, and the one move that stops it. Stop! If you are over 60, I need you to listen to me as if your life depends on it, because in many ways, it truly does. That sudden, agonizing cramp that jolts you awake at 2 a.m. isn't just a nuisance. It is a bone-shattering trap waiting to happen. Imagine the scene. You are in a deep sleep when suddenly, your calf muscle locks into a hard, angry knot. The pain is so blinding that your first instinct is to bolt out of bed or twist your body in panic. But for someone in their 60s or 70s, that one panicked movement in the dark is how tragedy strikes. Your bones are not as resilient as they once were. One wrong step, one stumble while your leg is paralyzed by pain, and you are facing a broken hip or a shattered leg. For a senior, that kind of injury isn't just a hospital stay. It is a loss of independence that many never recover from. You are lying there, terrified to move, fearing that the next twitch will trigger another explosion of pain. This is the hidden danger of the night that no one warned you about. Welcome to ElderFit Nutrition. It's a pleasure to have you with us today. Our mission is to help you reclaim the strength and mobility you deserve, ensuring that your golden years are spent in motion, not in pain. If you find this information vital for your health and safety, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel. Your support gives us the motivation to continue creating these deep dive guides that protect and empower our community. The tragedy of these nighttime leg cramps is that so many people simply accept them. They tell themselves, "I'm just getting older," or "my circulation isn't what it used to be." They treat this agony as an unavoidable tax on aging. But I am here to tell you that this mindset is dangerous. By accepting the pain, you are ignoring a critical distress signal from your body. You spend your days exhausted because you are afraid to fall back into a deep sleep. Your energy is shot, and your quality of life slowly withers away. You are essentially living in a state of hypervigilance, waiting for the stone to return to your muscle. This psychological toll is just as heavy as the physical pain. We have to stop the guesswork and throw out the outdated ideas that are failing you. Tonight, we are going to change the narrative. We are going to address the root of this fear, so you can finally close your eyes without wondering if tonight is the night your legs and your mobility finally give out. Before we dive into the solution, I want you to take a moment of reflection. Think about your own experience and answer this honestly in the comments section below. It helps us understand your journey better. When a cramp hits you in the middle of the night, which feeling is more overwhelming for you? The physical, blinding pain that makes it impossible to breathe. The lingering fear and anxiety that prevents you from going back to sleep. Please comment with A or B below. I read every single one of your responses. Now, to truly solve this, we have to look deeper than the surface. We have to understand why your legs, which have carried you faithfully for over 6 decades, suddenly seem to betray you the moment you close your eyes. It is a mystery to many. Why does this happen at 2 a.m. and almost never at 2 p.m.? To understand this, you have to visualize your bapchun, your calf muscles, not just as tissue, but as a secondary heart. Throughout the day, every step you take and every movement you make acts as a mechanical pump. When the muscle contracts and releases, it squeezes the veins, forcing blood and fluid back up toward your heart. This constant movement keeps your legs fresh, flushing out metabolic waste and bringing in a steady stream of oxygen-rich blood. However, when you turn 60 and beyond, the efficiency of this pump naturally begins to wane. And when you lay down for 7 or 8 hours of absolute stillness, that pump effectively shuts off. Imagine a river that stops flowing. The water becomes stagnant, heavy, and cold. This is exactly what happens in your lower legs. The blood slows down to a crawl. The fluids that should be circulating instead begin to pool, creating a heavy, congested environment within the muscle fibers. As the hours pass in the dark, your calf muscles are essentially being starved. They are gasping for fresh oxygen and nutrients that are no longer arriving because the pump is idle. By 2 or 3 in the morning, your muscles reach a breaking point. When a muscle is starved of oxygen and drowned in stagnant fluid, it enters a state of high alert, or what I call physiological panic. It sends out a desperate, violent distress signal to your nervous system. That signal is the cramp, a protective yet agonizing spasm where the muscle fibers lock together in a death grip, trying to force a contraction to get the blood moving again. It is a primitive survival mechanism gone wrong. This is why your legs feel so bruised and heavy the next day. You aren't just feeling the aftermath of a muscle contraction, you are feeling the hangover of hours of stagnant circulation. If you go to sleep with your legs in a state of stagnancy, you are essentially inviting this panic to occur. We cannot expect a 60-year-old circulatory system to handle 8 hours of total immobility without some preparation. Understanding this biological betrayal is the first step toward reclaiming your nights. It's not that your legs are broken, it's that they are suffocating in the stillness of the night, waiting for you to give them the breath of life they need before the lights go out. We must learn how to manually restart that pump and flush the system so that your muscles can rest in peace, rather than screaming in the dark. To ensure that your legs never reach that state of physiological panic, we must implement a deliberate 3-step ritual that restores the flow before you even lay your head on the pillow. This is about more than just movement. It is about manually intervening in a system that has slowed down with time. We begin with a technique I call the bedside gas pedal. Sit on the edge of your bed, feeling the weight of your body supported. Extend your legs and imagine you are behind the wheel of a car. Slowly press your right foot down, pointing the toes away as if gently pressing the accelerator, while simultaneously pulling your left toes back toward your nose. Then switch. This rhythmic, alternating pumping action is the most natural way to wake up the circulation in your lower limbs. You aren't rushing. You are giving the muscle enough time to fully squeeze and then fully release. If you move too fast, you lose the benefit. Keep the effort light, about a 4 out of 10, so you don't accidentally trigger a cramp by overextending. After 1 minute of this deliberate rhythm, you may feel a warm, subtle tingling in your calves. That is the feeling of fresh, oxygenated blood finally reaching the tissues that have been starved all day. Once the blood is moving, we move to the second step, the manual calf wring-out. This is where we address the stagnant fluid that gets trapped deep within the muscle fibers. Cross your ankle over your knee so your leg is completely relaxed and soft. Wrap both hands around your calf like you are holding a thick rope, starting just above your heel. With firm, steady pressure, slide your hands upward toward the back of your knee. Think of this as squeezing a tube of toothpaste from the very bottom to the top. You are physically assisting your veins in moving sluggish fluid back toward your heart. It is vital that you never massage downward toward the ankle, as this works against your natural circulation. Spend a few minutes on each leg, feeling the muscle become more pliable and less congested under your hands. Finally, we finish with the assisted towel stretch to lengthen the fibers and calm your nervous system. Loop a towel or belt around the ball of your foot and gently pull your toes back while keeping your knee straight. As you feel that deep, satisfying stretch, I want you to practice the 4-7-8 breathing technique. Inhale for 4, hold for 7, and exhale through pursed lips for 8. This specific breath pattern signals to your brain that the body is safe and it is okay to let go of all protective tension. By the time you finish, your legs should feel light, warm, and fully prepared for a night of uninterrupted rest. Despite our best preparations, there may be nights where a cramp still tries to break through, and in those terrifying seconds at 3 a.m., your reaction will determine whether you find relief or suffer a debilitating injury. When that blinding pain hits, most people make a fatal mistake. They panic and instinctively point their toes downward or curl them up in a ball. You must understand that when you point your toes, you are actually helping the cramp. You are forcing the calf muscle to shorten and contract even harder, essentially feeding the fire of the spasm. This is how muscle fibers get torn and how you end up with a leg that feels bruised and useless for days afterward. In that moment of darkness, you need a survival reflex that is stronger than your fear. The moment you feel the muscle beginning to lock into that stone state, you must perform the emergency stop move. Immediately straighten your knee as hard as you can and pull your toes back toward your shin with everything you've got. If you can reach your foot, grab it and pull it toward your nose. If you can't, use your leg muscles to force that heel away from you. This movement acts as a mechanical brake lever. By pulling the toes back and straightening the leg, you are manually forcing those locked up at overlapping muscle fibers to pull apart. You are physically overriding the nervous system's scrambled signal. It will be intense for a split second, but you will feel the knot suddenly give way and melt. Memorize this sequence now. Knee straight, toes up. Do not wait for the pain to peak before you act. The faster you apply this brake, the less damage the muscle will sustain. Once the spasm releases, do not immediately try to stand up on the cold floor, as this can cause a secondary cramp or a fall. Instead, stay seated on the bed and breathe. You have just successfully navigated a physiological crisis. By knowing exactly how to fight back, you strip the nightmare of its power. You are no longer a victim of your own body. You are the one in control. This knowledge is your shield, ensuring that even if a cramp fires, it will be a momentary flicker rather than a bone-shattering disaster. Beyond the exercises and the emergency moves, there is a silent, invisible trap in your very own bedroom that could be undoing all your hard work. It is something so common that we never think to question it: the way you tuck in your blankets. If you are someone who likes a neat, tightly made bed with heavy covers pulled taut over the foot of the mattress, you are inadvertently creating a prison for your feet. Throughout the night, those heavy blankets press down on your toes, forcing your feet into a pointed, downward position for 8 hours straight. As we have learned, this shortened position is exactly what triggers a cramp. You are essentially pinning your calf muscle into a state of constant tension, practically begging it to spasm. Tonight, I want you to make one simple, life-changing adjustment. Loosen the blankets at the foot of your bed. Give your feet the freedom to rest in a neutral, yet upright position. This one small act of liberation for your feet can be the difference between a night of agony and a night of profound peace. Furthermore, we must address what is happening inside your blood vessels. Many people over 60 are told to simply drink more water, but hydration is a delicate balance of minerals, not just volume. If you flush your system with plain water right before bed, you might actually be diluting the very electrolytes your muscles need to stay calm. Your nerves and muscles communicate through tiny electrical signals fueled by magnesium and potassium. Magnesium, in particular, is the relaxation mineral. It is what tells a muscle fiber to let go after it is contracted. As we age, our bodies often run low on these essentials. Instead of just more water, consider the power of real food. A small handful of almonds, a few slices of avocado, or a banana with your evening meal can provide the mineral foundation your legs are starving for. This isn't about expensive supplements. It's about giving your body the raw materials it needs to maintain silence in the night. By combining the right sleeping environment with targeted nutrition, you are no longer just treating a symptom, you are building a fortress of health around your mobility. Your journey toward a pain-free night is not just about stopping a cramp. It is about reclaiming the dignity of your rest. For over 60 years, your legs have been the silent pillars of your life. They have carried you through your first steps, through the miles of your career, and through every dance, walk, and climb you have ever undertaken. They have stood firm during your hardest moments and moved you toward your greatest joys. It is a profound heartbreak when, in the later chapters of life, these faithful companions begin to feel like a source of dread. But I want you to hear me clearly. Your body is not betraying you because it is old. It is simply asking for a different kind of attention than it did 30 years ago. A peaceful night of sleep is not a luxury reserved for the young. It is a fundamental human right that you deserve to enjoy at every stage of your life. I want to challenge you to commit to this routine for just 7 nights. Give your circulation the pump it needs, give your muscles the manual release they crave, and give your nervous system the minerals it requires to stay quiet. Imagine waking up 7 days from now, realizing that for the first time in years, you didn't jump out of bed in terror at 3 a.m. Imagine the energy you will have when your sleep is deep and restorative, rather than fragmented and fearful. That version of you, rested, mobile, and confident, is still there, waiting to be rediscovered. You have the tools now. You have the knowledge. Most importantly, you have the power to change how you experience the night. Trust in the resilience of your body, be patient with the process, and know that every small step you take tonight is an investment in your independence for tomorrow. You have spent your life taking care of everyone else. Now, it is time to take care of the legs that have allowed you to do it all. The deep lesson to be learned here is that aging does not have to mean the inevitable surrender of comfort or mobility. The lesson is that attention is the ultimate medicine. We often wait for a crisis to occur before we listen to our bodies, but true health is found in the small, consistent rituals we perform when no one is watching. To apply this to your life today, stop viewing your physical limitations as natural aging and start viewing them as communication. When your body hurts, it isn't broken, it is speaking to you. By responding with gentle movement, proper nutrition, and a thoughtful environment, you turn a potential tragedy into a conversation of healing. To help us all learn from each other's experiences, I have a simple question for you. Which of these two changes are you most excited to try tonight? Loosening your heavy blankets at the foot of the bed, or adding a magnesium-rich snack like almonds or a banana to your evening? Please share your choice in the comments below. Your answer might be exactly what someone else needs to hear to feel encouraged. If this deep dive into your health was helpful, please subscribe to EldraFit Nutrition. Your subscription ensures that we can keep bringing you these evidence-based, heartfelt guides to living your strongest, most mobile life after 60. I'll see you in the next one.